Okay. So going back to Jennifer Aniston, would you guys consider having a child by yourself if you couldn't find a partner?
Don't
Absolutely
do it.
not.
No?
No.
Okay.
Good job.
No, because I want my child to have a
Smart
father
lady.
figure.
Okay. What about you?
Similar reason, I want to give my child the best opportunity. So, no.
Okay.
I think it's quite obvious. I don't want children,
Okay.
so I will not do that.
Okay. And
Straight up, you put your child at every statistical disadvantage by having kids as a single parent. Every statistical disadvantage. More likely to go to jail, more likely to be on drugs, more likely to drop out of school, more likely to be involved in violent crime. Every disadvantage as a single parent. You put your child at every disadvantage. Don't do it. If you have a choice, don't do it.
in the back.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
Well, I have a child by myself, but I wouldn't do it again. I'll wait until I'm married.
Okay. What made you guys say that? Why wouldn't you? Because a lot of people are considering IVF nowadays and having a child on their own.
Yeah, I just think when I look at my own life, I feel like it would have been completely different without a father figure. And I think as much as big up to like single moms and stuff, they want to give that to their child. I think there's certain qualities as a woman that you can't give a child because you're not a man. And I feel
Seriously.
like with, for example, when you get into puberty and stuff as a child, you have very different convos with your mom than you have with your dad, and you take away things from both of them. And I feel like that's irreplaceable. You can't give the same advice as a woman because you simply don't have the same brain as a man.
So what she's saying is 100% true. She was just saying there, you don't have the same brain as a man, as a woman. And it's the same for guys too. Guys, if you're a single father, bless you up for, taking care of your kids. That's all well and good. But as a single father, there are things that you can't teach your daughter that her mother should and would be able to teach her. It's in the same way that as a single mother, these people couldn't teach their sons things that men will just naturally teach them. Give them that male guidance that you can only get from other men, especially with how to operate in the world as a man, what the world expects from you as a man, what women will naturally expect from you, but will never tell you they expect. All these things you need a man to teach you, and you can't get that from a woman. Just like there are things that a woman's going to need taught to her as a young girl that she's not going to be able to get from a man.
So, yeah.
What about you guys?
Mine is just from my own experience. Like my parents are still, it's actually their anniversary today, 34 years, big them up.
Oh, that's it. That's nice.
And I just think I've grew up in that environment of having like a loving family and being supported as a loving family. So I can't imagine kind of not giving my children that. It's like maybe it's the white picket fence fantasy that I have, but
You should
that's how
always
I
aspire
kind
to
of
it.
want my future.
I just don't want to put any child in a position where, like the other ladies have said, they're going to be like just basically not have the influence of a father figure. Pretty much that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm heartened. Like I enjoy seeing that a lot of people are making sense here. Usually, at least when I was coming up, I heard a lot of women say, I don't need a man. I'll just have a kid on my own. Or I'm going to have a baby by this guy. I don't even want him to be around. And in my head, I'm thinking, one, if this dude isn't good enough to be with you, why would you want to have his kid? Does that make sense to any of you guys? No. It makes, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Two, like we were saying, you put your kid at every statistical disadvantage by being a single parent household. So why would you do that knowing that one, the person you're about to have a baby with, you don't want to be around. Two, I'm putting myself and my child at every disadvantage by doing this. Again, things that don't make sense to me.
Me personally, I think see it from the perspective of I would never have a child out of wedlock. Like I would have to be married, just preference, morals, whatever. So if I was to never get married or never get to that point, I wouldn't bring a child into this world.
That's the smart thing to do.
Yeah, just every child needs a mother and a father. Obviously, situations and things happen that is not the case, but I think to go into it without, denying that child a mother or a father, or a father, should I say, is, it's selfish.
Oh, I was about to ask, do you guys think it's selfish women that do that?
Yeah, 100%.
Depends.
And
on
this
the
is for the men
situation.
too. You guys can
Yeah,
weigh
it
in.
depends on their situation.
It depends on what. I mean, the situation is there's no dad.
Okay,
Yeah, but
Oh,
it might not.
he isn't there,
It might not have been the choice, you know.
So, okay, let's take me. I don't have kids. Let's say I'm 35. Would it be selfish in this situation? I'm 35 and no prospects. It's just, my DMs are a desert. It's horrible. And so I say, you know what? I want a child. So I'm going to go to the IVF clinic and I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to, I don't know the science behind it.
I don't think it's selfish, but I think you need to think about, what can you offer the child? Can you...
Real quick, actually, in case you don't know, IVF is in vitro fertilization. One go of IVF is around $10,000 and it has like less than a 50% success rate. I don't know how much less. I'm thinking in my head it's 20, but I'm not sure. So I want to go with less than 50% success rate, which means you just paid $10,000 and the odds are less than 50-50 that it's going to work. You're going to need multiple goes. So just remember that when people are getting older and they're thinking, oh, I'll just do IVF. No, unless you have a buttload of money, IVF isn't for you. No.
Because you want your child to grow up in certain conditions, right? So do you have enough money to provide for the child? Do you maybe have a male figure around you, maybe your brother, your dad, that can still support your child as a man?
You don't think it's selfish to expect that out of them?
No, because again, before you have a child, I would have locked that in. I would have already thought about these things. Do I have money for this? Do I have men around me that can support my child, that can offer that guidance? If I don't, then I may not have a child, because again, it's a life. You want to offer someone the best life that you can give, right? If I'm not in that position, I'm not going to have a child.
So what she's describing is what you do when you found yourself in that position. Yeah, you found yourself in this position through bad choices. So now you're about to have a child that there's no father, or the father isn't going to stick around, or the father, whatever happened, the father's not there. Now what you're doing is clocking to see who can be a male role model for your child, who can provide that male guidance for your child, who can be that influence, right? Because you can't be, because you're not a man. So you can't do that. Just like if it's a man in this position who found himself and the mother's not there, he would be looking for who can provide that female guidance for his daughter. But it's not what you do beforehand, before making this decision, because like we said earlier, you're putting yourself and your child at every statistical disadvantage. You're not doing that for the child. You're doing this for yourself. You're having the child for yourself, which, in my opinion, makes it selfish.
Okay, what do you guys think?
Well, you said no prospects, so I'd say that's kind of selfish if you had no prospects. Because what are you really bringing to the table as as a sole person? You're not really bringing the love and the support. You might be able to a certain extent, but by yourself, that's hard. I wouldn't really want to wish that on someone.
Okay.
Truth.
I think if it's a choice for you to bring a child into this world by yourself and then look after the child by yourself, I think that is selfish because,
What about you, China?
Yeah, I was just waiting to see if anyone was going to say it wasn't selfish. But yeah, it's incredibly selfish to bring a child into the world and do it by those types of means. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like having a kid in general is kind of selfish. Even though you mentioned Pearl earlier, you said that not having a kid was selfish. I think having a kid is inherently quite selfish. Let's take a moment to think about the world that we live in today. Let's think about politics. Let's think about financials. Let's think about everything that comes into being an adult in the world that we live in
We
today.
have the lowest rates of poverty ever in human history.
Yeah, but human history is shit, first of all. Let's think
not that
about it
shit, but
comparatively. I mean, if you really genuinely want children, of course you can have children. But if you're having children because you feel like you need to, that's different.
What's wrong with the world today is great, especially in the West.
It is better than it's ever been, but it's
Great.
still also...
It's phenomenal.
So were your parents selfish for having you?
They rub it in my face all the time.
No, but I'm just asking you.
No, I think they are.
How many siblings do you have?
I have 2.
So there's 3 of you. So your parents were incredibly selfish for having you guys.
And the thing is, I feel like my parents do have a lot of regret in terms of having children, especially...
So you wish you wasn't alive. Do you feel like you feel like you don't want to be alive?
That's not what I'm saying, because before a fetus is born, they don't even know what life is.
That's not what I'm asking you. You said it's incredibly selfish, and you're saying, but I'm saying you come from a family of 3. So do you consider your life to be selfish?
I'm not going to say on fucking camera that I wish I was
Please
dead.
don't. There's no need to swear. We're just having a conversation. You don't need to swear.
I swear.
But you're swearing in a conversation with someone is quite rude.
I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just swearing like I normally talk.
I know, but it's not quite. Okay, so when you meet somebody, you've never met somebody for the first time, to swear when you speak to that person, we consider to be quite rude. So we're on a platform and we're talking to like thousands people.
The tone that you're using towards her is quite
It's
rude.
fucking rude.
tone?
I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
What tone?
You're being rude to me.
Okay,
What?
so
He's not being
wait, hold on a second.
He's
Because
not
I
being
was
rude.
not being rude to
Hold on a
you.
second.
That's
I just literally
wild.
just spoke. I haven't done anything.
You're baiting her.
Guys, have I raised my voice?
No, bro.
Have I said anything derogatory?
Calm, bro.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, you're stopping me. It's really
You
rude.
did say
No, I haven't
that
said-
she wish, does
I
she
haven't-
wish that she's alive?
No, I
That's a
asked her a
really
question.
wild thing to
I asked
say.
her a question. You keep interrupting. So nothing about
I'm
my tone. So the
interrupting.
problem with, so what we seem to find is when men speak and when we speak directly, we always get women that try to speak to us about a tone. There's nothing wrong with my tone. I
I
haven't
don't think
raised
there's
it.
anything wrong with your
She
tone.
she literally just said it.
She did.
So could you just check your
Yo, you should go back and just watch them all start to gaslight this man. That was wild. Like, dude asked a series of questions, and yes, he asked her directly based on her train of thought, right? Based on her logic, her life would then be selfish, and he pointed that out. He asked that question. I saw what he was doing. He put her in a logic box because she says that having a child is just selfish. Her parents had 3 children. Does she think that they were selfish? So as a result, your life is selfish, meaning that you wouldn't want that, correct? But then to watch them all just try to jump down his throat to protect her, I'm guessing. But I don't understand how they could just gaslight him like that. That, again, this is just my opinion.
your friend for check the lady next to you and say there's nothing wrong with his tone.
You can check me directly.
No, but the thing is, no, but the thing
You
is,
can
the
check me
thing is,
directly if you want to.
no, but the thing is, I am, and everyone
Because
else.
now you're raising your voice,
No,
and
because
that's rude. That's a tone.
So what you're doing is, you're gaslighting the situation. This is what you women
This
do.
is not what
No. This is
You
a.
guys are.
This is a
He-
classic-
He didn't do anything.
Let me teach you.
Like,
I didn't say he was doing
like, he
anything.
Let me
didn't.
teach you.
you were
No,
gaslighting.
let me teach you.
I think the question was a bit wild, but
Yeah.
that's why we're
See?
on a podcast.
The question is,
right?
so what you guys are doing again? You guys are stopping the man from speaking. I tried several times on this platform to speak.
All night I'm waiting.
Not you, but what you have done is, first of all, you gaslight that situation by saying about my tone. I didn't raise my tone. I didn't speak in a.
You phrased your
You
tone at
didn't.
me and
You
you're
didn't.
pointing at me.
See what you're doing
didn't.
again
Continue,
is.
please.
See, guys. So this is
they
a good platform. So I
gaslighting.
want the super chats to look at this. This is an example of gaslighting. I simply asked the question because she said it was selfish for people to be having children right now. So I asked her, do you consider it to be selfish for your parents that had you as a child? She was, thinking about it. That's fine of her to think about it, but she swore at me. So I've never met this lady. It's the first time I met her, and she's sworn at me. So I just said, could you please not swear at me on a platform? What you've then said to me is about my tone. If anything, I would actually be quite in my right if someone swore at me. So,
Bro, what she actually did respond is just said she's naturally swears anyway. So as much as you're in your rights to be offended by what she said, because you don't know her.
You don't know
and
me.
you're,
But that
you're
wasn't
yourself,
even
you're
the
your own
point,
person.
though.
You have your
That's not where it got
boundaries,
off.
Okay, so you're
got
allowed to
off
feel the way you
tilt.
feel.
So
It's
she
when
just-
they
so just to
started,
make-
do you
1,
think
2, and 3
the
on the
world
couch
owes you
started
any understanding?
gaslighting.
So if you've never met somebody and you meet them for the first time, do you think the
My
world owes
man's
you
being,
understanding to be like,
they've
I
moved
can
the
just F and
goalposts
blind
and
at you?
he's
Do you
moved
think
with
I
them,
owe you understanding?
unfortunately.
No,
You've never been to East London, babes.
I'm not saying the world necessarily
They
owes
moved
her
the
understanding.
goalpost.
She just said that to almost like.
Yo, they definitely, all 3 of them just moved the goalpost, and he moved with them. I wonder if they know they moved the goalpost, or if it's just something that's so natural that they don't even realize it sometimes. That was wild. That was wild. Because he started off talking about how they were gaslighting him, and then they moved the goalpost to be about what she said, which, whatever, she cursed. He made it known that he doesn't like that. It could have ended with, all right, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll try not to do that in the future or whatever. When I'm speaking with you, if she wants to be respectful, if she doesn't want to be respectful, she can just tell him to go fuck himself. It's whatever. Like he just said, she doesn't owe him understanding. He doesn't owe her understanding, and they can just not talk, whatever. But they moved the goalpost back to that when he was like, hey, look, why are you guys gaslighting me? Talking about how my tone, his tone never, you can rewind the tape and look at that. His tone never changed. Anyway.
Out of context, like, just to comfort you, like it's alright. I didn't mean it.
So let's use this
take it
example, right,
offensively, but
guys?
you have.
So let's use the example, right?
So do we
There's
have-
nothing wrong. So there's nothing wrong with my tone. I haven't raised my tone. I haven't pointed at you. I haven't shouted at you.
You have. At me.
Okay.
No, he didn't. Stop gaslighting him.
It's easy. It's
Like,
easy.
no,
It's easy.
no,
He did point at me. He was doing she, so he did, yeah.
I didn't. So you know what it is. You know what it is. I find it. So I don't want to do this, Pearl. But I'm gonna say this as a black man, and I'm gonna do that. I find it. This is a scenario that we find ourselves in. I haven't done anything. I haven't shouted at you. I haven't been aggressive to you. I haven't sworn at you. But yet you, yet you have continued to talk about my tone. You've tried to create an image of me, a perpetual image of me on screen, which is not that. I was sworn to on live on the air. That's all I said was, can you please not swear? No, it's fine, but we're not talking about you now. What we're talking about is her gaslighting a scenario. And she's spoken about the tone. She's trying to act like I've been aggressive to her. Guys, the super chats and everything will let you know, because I really haven't done it. You guys have jumped on top of me, but it's fine. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
Guys, switch the situation. If she no, stop.
If you're offended,
This is
I
stop.
apologize,
Stop. Okay, but this
I'm
is
not trying to offend you.
if we switch
I'm not offended.
stop.
They are
If we
just
switch
talking
the
over the host. That's
they're not the
right.
races, the genders here. If a girl says that to a guy, could you please not swear at me? It wouldn't be a thing.
All right. That was the reaction to Just Pearly Things. Make sure to like and subscribe for more of these videos. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.